Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Civilization 6 Rise and Fall. Before we get started here, I want to talk for a moment about how we're actually winning, because I don't know if it was super clear in the Shaka game, and also there may be some people watching who did not watch the Shaka game. The way we win a culture victory is by getting our visiting tourists to be greater in number than the domestic tourists of any other nation. Domestic tourists are created by culture output. The civilizations that output the most culture will end up with the largest number of domestic tourists. Then, we use the tourism resource to pull some of everybody's domestic tourists over into our visiting tourist column. Once the values in this column added up together are greater than any individual player's domestic tourists, we win. So the way we win is by optimizing our tourism output. There are a couple of big sources of tourism output. Wonders, you can see here, each wonder is adding 4 tourism per turn. It takes quite a bit of tourism to actually attract tourists, so that's why these all say that they have pulled 0 lifetime tourists. In addition, holy sites generate tourism. The holy site in the holy city generates tourism. I'm actually not sure if holy sites in other cities do, but in any case, the holy city generates 8 tourism, and then there is a civic rationalism, I believe, that halves the amount of religious tourism that your civilization receives, or that the amount of tourism that other civilizations with holy sites project onto you, basically, and everybody will get that eventually. So at some point, our holy city will be half as effective at generating tourism. Those are relatively small sources, though. Wonders producing 4, it helps, but it's not going to... all of our wonders combined are not going to add up to a huge amount of tourists brought over. The real big sources of tourism are great works, for which we need to continue to develop slots so that we can have as many as possible. You can see each great work is generating 4 tourism, which means each great person that creates great works is effectively generating 2 world wonders worth of tourism for us. And there are far more modifiers that affect the tourism that comes from great works than there are that affect the tourism that comes from wonders. So these numbers will get higher. And then also there are national parks, which are great, and seaside resorts, which are pretty good. Oh, and I forgot. Also, now, as of Rise and Fall, post neighborhoods, I'm not sure where it is, because it's new, but your neighborhoods are in the tech tree. What am I? Right? Wait, are they? No, neighborhoods are right here. You can get shopping malls in your neighborhoods. 1 shopping mall per city. Here it is. That also generates tourism. So, conservation is up here in the modern era. Many of the great work and tourism victory focused wonders are in the civics tree, high in the civics tree, in many cases. And then we do still need technology to get us at least as far as radio to make broadcast centers and the seaside resort here. So we do need to continue to focus on upping our science and particularly our culture output. We have to earn the things that are going to get us the tourism that we need to win, and the earlier we can do it, the better, for 2 reasons. Number 1, obviously, the AI civs will continue to increase their culture output over the course of the game, and the earlier we can get our tourism heavy, the less we have to deal with all of their culture output, increasing their domestic citizen pool. And secondly, some of the resources we're after are contentious. Only 1 player can build each of the wonders. When we start talking about archaeological museums, there are only so many archaeological dig sites in the world. We can only fill so many museums. So I do think it's important to continue to race. This victory type is much more similar, I think, to the science victory than the religious victory was, because, in the religious victory game, we kind of got to decouple from a bunch of the game systems, and it was like, yeah, some people might build spaceships, or some people might get a lot of tourism, but we're just going to kind of do our own thing on a different layer of the map. Here, we are way more in contention with the other players. In particular, great people points matter a lot. So we're currently outputting pretty good great people points relative to the other players. We're only really being challenged on writers, and it's only by 1 person, right? Wasn't there somebody who was generating a lot of... I might be mixing it up with the game I was playing with Elise, actually. It might be the case that nobody's really competing on culture this game. I don't know. Okay, so to that end, increasing all of our resource outputs so that we can keep doing stuff. We need more cities. 3 cities is not okay. Even the smallest, tightest, tallest civ play, you really want 4 cities at the very least, because your all of your amenities from luxuries cover 4 cities. Not having 4 cities is just like letting stuff rot on the vine. But in fact, we should have many more cities. Because, first of all, wide play is just very good in Civ 6. And secondly, we have all of this space. Look at all this stuff beyond the city-states that the other players have not grabbed. If we can put up a couple of cities over here quickly before the Mongols do, I think we're going to have plenty of space to build up a large empire. If we let the Mongols start taking control of the area first, we might be in trouble as far as loyalty goes with trying to settle any new cities. So when we settle our new cities, if this were Civ 5, what I would try to do is settle like in this bottleneck area and just make it difficult for their units to pass. However, because of the way loyalty works, I think we might be just as well off, or maybe even better off, settling far away where our cities won't have to deal with loyalty pressure from him at all, and just building up a lot of loyalty over in this area and then backfilling the space. And that way, if he does settle a weird small city or two, we can just loyalty pressure it off the map and not have to worry about potentially having to burn it down, which would have been the only way to solve that problem prior to the expansion. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? I need settlers. What does a settler cost? At this point in the game, with this level of expansion, 390 gold. That's... that'll take longer to put together than I'd like. Can we make any trades? We don't have a ton of luxuries. Is there anything that I have that you want? I'm not willing to trade my great works anymore. Yeah, that's right. We do have alliance tech. So probably I want a cultural alliance. Just give us extra... You know what? Actually, a research alliance might be better. Because our culture output is pretty good. Our science output is less so. We could use a little bit of a push in this area. So that might be the way we want to go here. Do you want 1 gold per turn? You want... Okay. Look at his face. I really do feel like I'm talking to a dog sometimes. They gotta feel like they're getting a good deal, you know? Alright, that's fine, man. You got it. You got my 1 gold. Okay, cool. That's another thing. Because we're trying to progress up the trees, as normal, the numbers are important, but also getting the boosts is important. Okay. So, taking the research alliance with him, it would be nice if he would send trade routes to us and we could get a little bit of free science. I am not going to be sending trade routes to him. It's not really worth it, I don't think, relative to the food and industry that we produce by making trade routes to ourselves. Once we have the tech for making trade routes to our allies better, we will want to do that. So we do have to keep that in mind. We need to expose some of his cities. If we can make a city or two over here on this coast, I'm sure we'll be able to run trade to him through there. Okay, man, I wish we could cross deep water. Another thing is that we can't actually export tourism to people, like we can't draw their tourists to us, if we don't know them. So that's a problem. We gotta meet the rest of the players. No, I guess we'll let the temple finish. Does Magnus have... He does have provision. Okay, we're just gonna pump out, like, a bunch of settlers. We should probably go to 8 cities or something relatively quickly.
Everything has its limit in democracy.
We have all this space, but we won't have all this space forever. So right now we have some fine policies, I guess. Urban planning is a small bonus, but I think it's right. Do we want to swap one of our slots to the builder thing? Newly trained builders get 2 extra build actions is very nice to have. How are we doing on great scientist points? If I pull this +2, where's that going to leave us relative to everybody else? There's only one player who's really angling for them. You know what? I bet this is what I was thinking of when I was talking about one other person competing on great artists. Is that there's only one other person competing for great scientists. Yeah, we can probably cut the 2 great scientist points. I value production so much that I would rather lose 2 great scientist points per turn than lose 1 production in each city. And then I guess the question is, are these the right 3 policies? I think they are. I think we're good. The great scientist here or there is nice. It's not super important to us, but we can't ignore science. We are not dismissing the other systems. We need science and culture. To be perfectly honest, I don't think that this is the best victory type in terms of, like, if you're just trying to win. The science victory, science is a self-reinforcing loop, and it's just easier. It takes less effort to win a science victory than it does to win all of the other victory types. So if you're just trying to win, the best way to do it is to win a science victory, no question. But I think this victory type's actually really fun. I like building the little collections in the museums and trying to optimize them and get the theming bonuses. And Armag's not going to let us through their border, right? Pretty sure that's right. Unless we become their suzerain again, which we could do. I'm really hoping to save my envoys for a nice cultural or scientific city-state that we might hopefully meet at some point during the game after we get past Mongolia. Alright, how long? It'd take you 23 turns to build a settler? Man, maybe you should just work on your harbor. Work very slowly on your extremely good harbor. This is why we need more trade routes, because they need to run more trade routes out of our bad cities. We can make better cities to the west. There's some... looking on stuff over here while I'm trying to drag the map around. There's some pretty prime city locations over here. Okay. So he's settling in. For him, it's going to make sense for him to settle close to his existing empire because he gets reinforcement from loyalty this way. So we want, like I said, I think we want to settle out to the coast, build up a couple of cities over here so that we have some good reinforcing loyalty pressure, and then build inward because we've got this wall of city-states and Mongolian cities blocking us. I'm going to become the suzerain of Armagh real quick here, just for a minute. Just so as to get my units through their border. It only costs 1 envoy. It's a very temporary thing. And we're going to get that village, man. It's going to be great. Make no mistake about it. So we're not actually super pressured to go for great writer points, since we're leading by a huge margin on those. I think it's time to make settlers. It's time to make a bunch of settlers. We're going to make this guy... So when we build this settler, the cost of buying another settler will go up. Settlers cost more and more as you get more and more of them. So we might... I believe that's true anyway. Now that I'm saying it, I'm realizing that I'm not 100% certain of that. Oh, what's this? Okay. What's her deal? I don't actually... The leaders... She's not new with the expansion, but she's new in the sense that she's one of the later DLC releases. Like civilizations who avoid settling or conquering cities on small land masses, hates anyone with numerous cities on such islands. And she's good friends with her neighbors. She's got an alliance with one of them. If we don't send her the delegation now, we probably won't get to for some time, because she'll probably get kind of cross with us, because that's how deity AI is. So I want this diplomatic visibility. I want to know what's going on with her. But we should be able to avoid running afoul of that agenda. We don't know what her other agenda is, obviously, so who knows where we'll end up on that. All right, let's do a little bit of exploring. But anyway, what I was saying is, we may get this settler to within 1 turn of completion, and then pause it for a moment so that we can build up the gold to buy a settler. Oh no, she's going to get the thing! Oh, Indonesia, you have made an enemy for life, let me tell you. I spent so much time, several whole moves coming over here. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. She's gonna do it. She did it. Oh. And she discovered in... what she discovered in that tribal village was a deep hatred for us. Deep hatred for us in our classical republic. Alright, somebody built Apadana. This is of no consequence to me. So we could build monasteries. The game really wants me to build some monasteries. What I really want to build is, like, luxury resource containment facilities. I always imagine that we're basically the Ghostbusters, but for various forms of silk and money crops. Okay, so we got some... We do have barbarian issues over here. We're actually going to need military units to escort our settlers, aren't we? Maybe I should make a military unit. What do you guys think? Would it be a good idea to have 1 or 2 military units? So what are we seeing? We're seeing still very basic early game stuff. The archer can escort the settler, and we should have, like, a horse or 2 or something. I want to talk a little bit about this. So, we don't have a military. We've kind of been representing ourselves as able to build a military, but to be perfectly honest, we've been able to get away with not building a military this game because Mongolia has been focusing their violence southward because they started next to Alexander, who is... He's going to force you to focus your violence in his direction, generally speaking. So we can't count on that to hold forever. So we do need to have a military. We're working on machinery here. We could boost this. Wouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, whatever. We're working on machinery. Crossbows will help. Crossbows will help a lot. I really wish that he wasn't denouncing us. If we could just be friends with both him and Alexander, that would be really nice. Sidonian missionaries. Well, my only real concern is not getting their religion in my territory. I want to have my religion in my territory because I want to benefit from, first of all, choral music, but also the other stuff we're going to get. And in fact, to that end, I should remember to buy apostles and improve my religion. Okay, I'm going to come down here and improve this other source of dyes, and then we'll see if we can trade one of them off to Alexander and get some money for helping to build our settlers. Now keep in mind, we can afford to be about 1 tech level behind Macedon, or behind Mongolia, and still probably be fine militarily because of our Defender of the Faith bonus. 10 combat strength is about 1 tech level of unit strength generally. There are places where that is not true. There are places where it's worse, but ooh, do I want to run my route to Karakorum for the extra point of production? I really do value 1 extra point of production, but no, we probably ought to enjoy all this food. Alright, you are just going to improve the religion. Let's get another belief. So again, everybody already took buildings. These are not contentious resources. All of these will be available to us later instead. We might take plus housing or plus amenities. I think those ones are pretty good. My experience has not been that you need the slot for religious art, because usually, like I said, usually it's already the case that you can have more museums than you will have great artists. We'll see how things look, because we're going to pick this later. So let's pick one of these. I do like tithe a lot. 1 gold for every 4 followers of this religion. I talk a lot about how I don't think that gold is a great resource. It's, you know, a gold is worth like 1/3 or 1/4 of a point of production in most cases. But every 4 followers of this religion is a pretty good way to get stuff. A lot of the other things that give you bonuses for followers give you bonuses for followers of your religion in other civilizations, which means you need to spend a lot of your personal human time and effort on goading your religion out into other players and like protecting it from encroaching religions. If you don't do this, you can bank all your faith and spend it on other stuff, like buying your religious building or banking for nationalists. Nationalists? Naturalists. So I don't like these as much, even though science and culture are without a doubt better resources than gold. It's really easy to get tithe to be a number that is valuable. We also could pick up religious pressure on city-states. I don't super care about. I don't really need more faith. Each campus or commercial hub provides +1 science or +1 gold, respectively. That's not terrible. I do love plus science. But I think tithe is going to be a pretty large amount of gold over the course of the game. Whereas this is going to be 1 science per city. Yeah, we're going to go for tithe. So immediately, tithe is only going to be worth a couple of gold to us, right? What is the status of my religion in Rotterdam? Oh, Rotterdam is growing faster than the religion is hitting it. That's fine. We're running trade routes to a religious city. Trade routes do increase religious pressure. We didn't talk about that a lot during our religion victory game because of our weird geographical situation where it wasn't really feasible for us to use trade routes to help spread religion. They spread religion to the city that sends the trade route out. So if you make a valuable city with your religion near other players and they send trade routes to it, it will help your religion spread into them. Is basically that's the 10-cent version of that. And we have more of this. Well, we probably want to get double great people points. And then we need to switch these two. So now that we're producing double great people points in the city that Pingala's in, he needs to be in the city that has the Oracle. Because the Oracle is causing us to generate just crazy great people points in Amsterdam. That said, I'm going to let this settler finish before I redistribute them. Because obviously we're going to avoid losing population there. So, our ultimate goal here... Our sort of medium-term goal here is humanism, and actually we're right on top of it. We do need a better religion as well, but I don't, like I said last time, I don't think monarchy is very good for us. It has too many red slots and too little other stuff. So I think we're going to get humanism. This is the most important. I want to be able to start working on museums. Museums are really where your tourism starts to turn on. And then I think we're going to exploration afterward. We're going to have to backfill some stuff here, but yeah. And then we're on to opera and ballet, natural history, and we're already headed in the direction. It's going to be a little while, but we have our direction set. So, settlers will also go up in time, just over time, I believe. I believe it costs more to make later settlers, so we're still seeing 390 now. Oof. Where'd all my money go? I wish the money display updated more in real time. Well, given that it's looking like we're about to have some financial issues, maybe I don't even want to try this, but we're going to be able to trade with Alexander in a second here. Yeah, I'm going to refocus the city on something else for a moment. How about walls? You cannot have unwalled cities adjacent to your neighbor forever. Eventually, things will go wrong. Oh, I was hoping that shallow water all the way out here meant that there was another landmass right there. I don't even know what to do with this guy. He might be going on auto-explore pretty soon. Hey, look, turtles. What is wrong with me? Why am I so fascinated by turtles? Alright. 9 turns into the end of the era. This would not be... Okay, I was about to say this would not be a great time for a Dark Age with us considering building new cities out. Like, I don't know that I want my loyalty to be super low. But this great person will get us over the edge. And it just so happens we have some great rating slots.
That's a worthy.
Okay. Great works are a pretty good source of culture. The Great People Points loop is also kind of self-reinforcing. Oh. Okay, the map... Apparently, the map felt that this tile is on the far right edge of the world, whereas these tiles are on the far left, so it just snapped us around there. Alright, Geoffrey Chaucer has showed up. I gotta say, I am, like... As a person who enjoys literature and, in general, the humanities, my knowledge of, like, that era of Western literature is actually very poor. Okay, hey Alexander, I have these extra dyes. How would you like it if all of your clothes were purple? Doesn't that sound good? What would you give me for this? You have nothing, you really... He has 11 gold and his GPT is negative, I believe. Otherwise, we'd be seeing a gold per turn thing here. So, yeah, I believe you. You have nothing that you can trade for that. What about these guys who hate us? They might still give us something. He wouldn't take I give him dyes. Oh, he does have dyes of his own, I suppose. Maybe we get lucky and Guitarja does not have dyes? No, she doesn't. What would you give me? Really, because you're rich. Like, super rich. If you would just give me, I don't know, like 20 gold? For real. I will let you have this for 20 gold. No, it has to be like 24 gold. Sorry. I know what I just said, but really I need it to be like 24 gold. Well, I mean, if she's willing to give us a small amount, let's push this as high as it will go. Huh. I'm kind of surprised. After she said she had nothing she was willing to trade, like, we'll take it to like 80? 80's too much. Okay. You know, sometimes I miss by one. That happens. This is fascinating footage. Sometimes you gotta dial it in a little bit. 67, it turns out, is the amount. Alright, thank you. That's very helpful. So we will purchase our settler. Then we will complete the building of this other settler. So you can see, it got more expensive, and now it will take us 2 turns to complete it instead of 1. Alright, and come over here, and you guys can link up. Okay, that's fine. I do not actually care about being suzerain of Armagh, I just needed to get through their borders. Alright, so let's start moving. The horsemen will catch up. I'm not too worried about that. Okay, so Alexander is still at war with What's-His-Face, and What's-His-Face is now suzerain of Armagh. Armagh, I don't know, man. The sad part is, if this was like some Warhammer elf or dwarf stuff, I would absolutely know the right pronunciation. There's only so much room in my brain for facts, and I choose to occupy my brain with the worst facts, the most useless ones. I don't have a lot of skills, but making numbers go up in general, you just put me in front of some numbers, I can make the numbers go up, and then also remembering how to pronounce things in fantasy languages.
I'd imagine the whole world is one big machine.
Alright, how much does it cost to upgrade an archer to a crossbowman? It's pretty expensive. It's not something I would have done right this moment anyway, but it is a number that I want to have in my mind because, you know, it may become relevant. Speaking of relevant, walls. Walls do eventually provide tourism. It's a small amount, but it does make them of greater than 0 value beyond their immediate defensive thing. All right, we have not had a great time with John Curtin over the last game or two, and he's out here eating the city-states. This would have been a really nice one to meet, actually. John, you big jerk. Pastures are always good, especially if you get extra culture from them. So our culture output's pretty good. Our science output is starting to get bad, which is to say that the world is moving forward, but our science output really isn't. So if we look at the overalls, just kind of get an idea where we are. Johnny C over here is putting out 90 science per turn. That's a number that's larger than our number. We should probably do something about that. Yeah, we're falling behind. On culture output, we probably are still being beaten, but you can't necessarily compare your values. Like, we could probably have, we maybe could have 90 science per turn if we'd focused on science here. I don't have a good benchmark anymore. I stopped playing Civ for a while, and I kind of forgot all the numbers. But you have to remember that the deity AIs start with a huge advantage over you, and that you spend the whole early and mid game catching up. They start at higher values, they get free outputs, but you are better at optimizing and building up new outputs than they are, so you do catch up to them over time. Their rate of gain is not as fast as yours is. Okay, then we can improve those fish, but improved fish are just 3 food, 1 gold. That's not... That said, this city is working a lot of unimproved tiles, isn't it? We pop over into the citizen view. Yeah, we need to just make some farms, man. And let's just farm up. City's having trouble growing because we're not building farms. So we'll make a couple of farms over here once we hit... where is it? Feudalism. Oh, we already have feudalism. Yeah, so your farms get more food when they're near each other. So we'll build little triangles and groups of farms over here. They'll be more effective. You know, I'm putting you on auto explore. I'm still controlling the ships manually because if you don't control your ships manually, they tend to go off into all of the little like weird cul-de-sacs and stuff. And I'm trying to get relatively quick vision over here. Ooh, fish on reef. This is a new thing, the reef. I like the fish on a reef is a very good tile. One of those ones, once you build the improvement on it, it has 5 points of good resources, and then also it has a gold on it in addition. We're impressed with the unique culture you're developing. We have satisfied his agenda. Yeah, so part of the reason that we're getting along with Alexander so much is that he has that agenda that cares about, wow. This is cool, but, like, no, absolutely not. You cannot have my great works. I need those.
All that glisters is not gold. Often have you heard that.
Okay, let's fiddle with this now. So we lost our housing thing, and it got replaced with a housing thing that's better unless the city that you're talking about has exactly 2 specialty districts. We've also gotten Theater Square District adjacency bonuses, and I would like this, and we're not currently building any builders. Let's slap that in there. I'm not sure that I want to change my green policy out just yet. We're just building up envoys over time right now. I'm still hoping that we're going to meet a city-state that's a little bit more relevant to our agenda than the ones we currently know, but who knows? All such city-states may have been eliminated. So we could run over here. We could take suzerainship of Armagh again to move our troops through. Actually, I can't. I don't even have the envoys. So I guess we are going to have to go around. That's a bummer. Make a farm. The reason I wasn't too worried about building the farm on the rice is because we actually don't have the money to buy that tile right now. We're a tiny bit broke. We're just a little bit broke. Definitely don't need to go up to either of these. Or either of these, really. Like, we don't have surplus logistics, but I kind of think I want to get a new governor. So we're going to want Reyna maxed out, because she will double our tourism outputs. So I believe we should pick her up. She helps acquire new tiles in the city faster. It'll also be nice to have a governor that we can just slap over onto the other side of the continent, in case we do have some loyalty issues. We got to start developing her. So for right now, she can just sit in The Hague, like the war criminal she is. And also, I'm going to swap these two. Which I'm totally remembering to do this. He doesn't give us a lot of benefits in Rotterdam, but... yeah, see, we can be friends. not with him, though. Whoa, how did he get his hat back? Did you guys see that? Like, I just blinked and the hat was back on his head. I didn't see him pick it up. Weird. That's the worst superpower I've ever heard of. Yeah, it's not generally telekinesis. I can just get my hat back on my head. It's the only thing I can do with it. Okay. Look how much more secure we are. His cities are twice the combat strength of ours, but... You know, a wall helps. A wall helps a lot. So we should probably just make our amphitheater... Actually, no, we have multiple sources of wheat. You need more builders. We're not at our housing soft cap yet because we keep gaining housing from stuff. Let's make another builder. And I know we swapped out the builder social policy. It's okay. We'll just make 2 builders if we have to. But like, I need to improve this wheat. I need to improve this rice. Skeptics may ask, what good are horses? That seems, I don't know, that seems weirdly judgmental to me. Oh yeah, big science booster guy. Absolutely, Galileo's a fine, great person. The question is, where can we take him to get the most benefit out of his thing where he produces science from mountains? We have a number of spaces nearby where he will produce 500 science, which is 20 turns of our current science output, by the way. It's not that I'm saying 500 won't do. The question is just, is there a place where we can do better? And can I... Okay, I can... Ooh, that could be a place where we could do better. It looks like this mountain maybe extends over to here. We might be able to get... 3? I wish I had better vision of that. The question, I guess, really is just, do we want to have this guy run around to a spot where, like, maybe there's a benefit much later, or do we want to just grab a bunch of science right this second? Because it's also possible that this doesn't extend any further, and that this space is just 2 mountain adjacencies. And unfortunately, there's nothing around it that would imply either way. I'm just going to take the 500. I don't feel bad about 500 science. Yes, that's almost finished printing, which will give us diplomatic visibility and double all of our Great Works tourism right now, because Great Works of Writing are the only kind we have. Alright, this horseman is coming out to help. And now we have access to some new districts. I don't think I want to build a harbor here. I don't think I care about putting boats out into the Northern Sea that much. I'm kind of thinking like maybe a commercial hub is the way to go in this city. So we can make a +3 value commercial hub. We cannot make a +3 value harbor. If we built our harbor here or here, it would be +1. We could build a harbor here that would have 2 gold from adjacency bonuses, but... Also, the commercial hub here will increase the adjacency bonus of our theater square, so it's actually 3 gold and a culture. Yeah, I think I would rather do this. Also, building a harbor is going to take a while because we don't have a huge amount of money to buy tiles, so we'd have to wait for a good tile to get grabbed. Boy, I sure hope Genghis Khan doesn't choose this moment to turn on us. Oh, hey, a new player. Okay. I think his agenda is he likes it if you have faith and culture. So we might, he and I might be cool. We might be bros. He likes it if you have faith in culture and a strong military. Okay, nope. He's not going to care for me. I don't know that we want to send him a delegation. Because I think we really do need to be banking money for tile buying right now. And I'm gonna skip it. He's not going to declare war on us. He's on the other side of the world. Sorry, what I mean is, even if he did declare war on us, it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't care about that. But it sure does seem like Mongolia is doing better than Alexander is, right? That could be a problem for us. We might have to do something about Mongolia at some point. We either need to make friends with him or we need to blow him up. Consume him, Vodyani style. Okay, 2 turns until the next era. There's no way I'm getting 6 era score. I thought about it briefly. Could you please? Thank you. Gotta walk the super long way. Actually, we got an envoy from a city-state quest. We could open Carthage's borders. Alexander probably wouldn't be super pleased about that, but also I don't care. Our our friendship and our culture output are going to keep us cool with him. Yeah, let's do that. Let's... Still can't actually move in because of this worker here. But we'll be able to just go straight west next turn instead of having to walk all the way south around and then back north. Alright. Unfortunately, the border of Fukuoka here is going to prevent us from going any further south, but we haven't actually explored this landmass very well, so we can get a little bit of vision down there. No, absolutely not. Now, why don't you sit and lament that? Look, you're doing art. Congratulations, good work. Alright, hey, we got a point of era score on the turn that the era flipped over by discovering printing. A good start. What is this? It's just a great general out scouting by himself. Well, you know what? I'm not going to make fun of him. I've done that. I've been that guy. Okay. Hey, is Carthage at war with him? Who's... No, Carthage is mine. Carthage was Alexander's, so Carthage was at war with Mongolia, and it's not now. Okay, I kind of screwed that up for my buddy. That was not great of me to do. I feel a little bit like a heel. We should stop doing stuff until I have my dedication in place. So plus era score each time you construct a new district. Era score each time you convert a city to your religion. Era score each time you can discover a new continent or natural wonder. Or each time you complete a trade route. I think we might end up on Reform the Coinage, which is sort of like the default I'm not good at any of this stuff dedication for this point in the game. How are we feeling about continents? We know 3 continents already. There probably aren't many more. However, there are probably quite a few world wonders or natural wonders left to find. That's a lot of era score. We probably won't be killing a lot of naval units in combat. Probably none, in fact. So this might give us 3 or even 6 points. Reform the Coinage probably will not give us 6 points. It might give us 3. We have 1 trade route right now. Man, I'm not doing so well, you guys. Yeah. So basically, I don't think any of this stuff is going to be very good. But we might be able to get the best points out of this one. We'll try. This is basically me rolling the dice on getting lucky, discovering some natural wonders now that we are finally out in the world. Because we have only found 1, right? This is the only one in the whole world we know of. There's probably, I don't know, like 5 or 6 total? Maybe. I don't know. Damn Australian warrior monks. Everybody's always got all these warrior monks. They're definitely going to steal that from me. Okay, so now that we have printing, I don't know that we'll actually build the Forbidden City, but I do love extra policy slot in the government. I do think that's cool. We need to get to industrialization and eventually radio. But that's really all of the tech that's super important to us. Aside from that, it's mostly about not dying. Science is how you not die, generally. Let's go after education. If you are on a landmass away from all the other players, you can keep yourself safe with culture because of the privateer, which is in the civics tree, unlike pretty much all other military units. But otherwise, you need science to... Otherwise, you need science to get new units to keep yourself safe. Okay, so a horseman and an archer. I don't know what the status of this barbarian camp is, if it's like in power spawning mode or anything, but a horseman and an archer should be able to, at the very least, keep the settlers safe while we're figuring out where we're going with them. Probably it's better for me to go down. That is 920 production. A little too much. Let's go ahead and build our watermill. It's going to be a fair amount of food. Alright, we're going to need about 410 or 420 faith. 430 faith to complete our religion. Out of curiosity, how is pressure treating these cities? Some effort has been put into converting them, but our natural pressure will flip them to us eventually. They want me to construct a government plaza. They want me to train a heavy chariot. I guess I could have done that instead of the horsemen, but horsemen are better. You have the horses, let's use them. Okay, we are on the other side of the city-state, so I once again do not care about its suzerainship. Well, that doesn't look like a Mongolian name to me. I guess I'm not an expert on history, but I suspect some things have occurred out here. Wow. It's messed up down here. Good luck, dude. He has walls, he'll be fine. Man, I would really love it if we could just not be denounced for a few turns so that I could try to get my hooks into him, diplomatically speaking. What's wrong with you? Don't shoot at my boat. You're not going to get anything accomplished. You're just embarrassing both of us. Okay. What's next? We could build another farm out here to take advantage of that that food bonus, but actually, let's make this happen. So you can see, when we're in settler vision here, oh, there's some loyalty pressure issues from Australia on this side. Interesting. Well, we could found up here to take advantage of this thing. And, like, this is not a bad spot for a city, right? We got sheep, we got a couple of wheat. We could also found the city here and remove this wheat for an aqueduct to get the freshwater bonus. I don't know if that's actually better. If we found here, we have some okay starting tiles. We can build out to the dyes eventually, although it's worth noting that dyes are not a new resource for us. Actually, this space has freshwater and is near turtles. This might be a good spot for a city. And then once we have this established, I might just... we have to clear this barbarian camp, probably. But maybe settling right here for the coffee, just out of loyalty issue range, or like even right here so that we're closer to the cows, all the stone and cows and coffee, and these sheep are on a desert, which makes them less valuable. I guess these sheep are on a tundra tile, but at least it's a hill. So basically what I'm saying is I think we're going north. I do kind of want to get some intel on this barbarian camp, though. If there's not a lot of units around it, we probably will just stop and clear it out. I was just curious if I could see anything new. Let's... You know, mass production will be pretty useful if we could ever actually get the shipyard finished in our harbor city. And it is on the way to other stuff that we want. But this city's shipyard would be awesome. Why is it going to take Rotterdam 24 turns to build a commercial hub? Man, we really do not have enough production.
The four characteristics of humanism.
We do have some other stuff going on, though, don't we? Hey, that's a swordsman. Swordsmen have the same combat strength as horsemen. So our horse should be perfectly good at fighting these guys. We shouldn't have any big problems. Alright, well, we kind of know the shape of things a little bit now. I might just set my ships to auto-explore at this point. Okay, so we gotta come over here and see if we can get around. This is deep water, but this is all shallow, so we might be able to move through the shallow water around to the south of Japan. Yeah, I'll just set both the ships on Auto Explore, though. It'll be fine. Maybe he's not mad about wonders that we built before he knew us? That might be a thing. Oh yeah, I forgot to change my policies last turn, because it doesn't always prompt me. I gotta look up here and actually notice. So, horsemen lose to spearmen, not by a huge amount, but a spearman who's in ideal terrain with fortified defense is pretty tough. The way it works is, spears have plus 10 bonus against cavalry. However, the spearman has a much lower base combat strength than the horseman does. So you can see here we have 25, and here we have 36. So, a spear and a horse do about equal damage to each other. And that's offset somewhat by the fact that horses require... horses are more difficult to get. They're an era ahead, and they require a strategic resource, and they cost about 20-25% more than spears do. This is the best possible position he could be in, though. He's in forest, he's in fortification, so I'm basically where I'm going with this is, here's why I'm not charging in with my horsemen this turn. Horsemen are really, really good units. We can definitely threaten these scouts, though. Oh, another swordsman. Okay. Okay, it's going to be like this over here. I see. We get to claim another writer. I mean, we will. I don't have anywhere to put the great works, but... we will eventually. You can just, like, chill out over here. Just take a nap. What we could do is we could actually trade off a great work or two. But at some point we're going to have the slots for these great works, and at that point I will want to have them. And in fact, that point can be 7 turns from now. If you're doing a good job generating great people points, pushing toward your cultural victory, you will probably have more works of art available to you than you have places to put works of art. That is very likely to be correct. He walked out of his camp. I really just want to get a settler over here. Creeping loyalty loss. Well, like I said, we got a 3rd governor, so we could just slap down a governor to cover the loyalty issue here. I'm just going to stay put in heal for a turn, honestly. For real. Fortify until healed. Stop asking for orders. The unit you are attached to is not moving. That means you are not moving. Okay, that's a very expensive tile to buy. I don't know why I was thinking it was in 2nd rank. That's why I even ran over here. I was like, we'll be able to afford that. SB, zoom in once in a while, man. Well, I'll just build more farms over here. Like, we're going to need more food in this city. That is just the case. Alright, definitely holding our envoys. I don't really need to place these. So our tourism of 57 is okay for this point in the game. We're... No, I'm just about to have space for these. What is going to be the best thing to do here? So this guy is obviously a non-threat. We could unlink these, move the settler away, and then try to run the horseman over here to clear the camp. But I think our archer is going to be able to clear the camp. So I think what I'm going to do instead is just move up onto this hill. This swordsman won't be able to kill us. We have the same combat strength he does, and we're in good terrain. Or actually, you know what? Let's not even let him attack us, I guess. Let's be super safe. Alright, so you can see we're getting some farm increases. A farm here will get us the same bonus on that one. We could really use either production or a whole lot of money. We lost control of Carthage, which is fine by me. My big brave ship is terrified because it saw an archer. Like, oh no, he's gonna hit me for 4. What will I do? Must send back for orders. Okay, yeah. So he's gonna back up to try to get back to the camp. We are going to prevent him from getting back to the camp. And then we're just gonna head for the settling site. If we end up this wouldn't be horrible. If it, like, becomes a problem, we do need to just get these cities down because they need to start growing, so... I might settle in a not totally optimal position just to get the city established, basically. Alright, so that added 2 food by improving the other farm. That's fine. Well, it seems pretty clear to me that Mongolia has other things on its mind. We're probably not in any danger from them. Saying that is the kind of thing that gets the AI to attack you, but he's still a war.
In peace, one is
Oh hey, all of the world's swordsmen have appeared. Well, that's pretty bad for us. Okay, we're gonna probably have to get in the water here to get away. That is something we can do, though. None of the swordsmen have the move necessary to attack us this turn. We jump in the water, and I guess we'll have to go around the coast. But we can clear this camp and settle on the river. It doesn't go anywhere. Well, maybe we can negotiate with Japan for open borders. I'm not super positive that they'll go for it, because they kind of hate us, but we'll see. Everybody kind of hates us. That's our thing. That's what makes us special. You know, we do have a temple. We should probably go to 6 envoys with our mob. We don't need to take suzerain ship from them. It doesn't actually do anything for us. But this is resources. This is stuff we could be having. There's no sense in sitting on those envoys. All right, we're producing lots of great people points in the capital. I mean, the numbers are trending in good directions. Alright, so camp is clear. What's the loyalty count? I might settle here. Actually, I do like this. We still would be able to build a harbor. The other option is settle on the coast for the better harbor adjacency bonus, and then aqueduct over to a source of clean water. But that means I have to spend time building the aqueduct. No, I'll just settle here. That'll be fine. That's what we're going to be doing next turn. We're going to unlink these two. Settler in the water, horseman in the water. Settling on the coast is a little bit dangerous in our position, given how, that city is named Choir? It's probably not pronounced that way. Given our relative lack of naval sophistication, settling on the coast might actually be dangerous for us, because if somebody wanted to come for our stuff, we would be hard-pressed to defend it right now. We do have a unique naval unit that would be relevant at this point in the game, but how am I going to build it, right? Okay. He likes that we're killing barbarians on a continent that is not his continent. Oh wait, the capital reached 10 population. That means we can build another district. Alright, so sadly for the barbarians, there's not a lot they can do about me just sailing around the Horn. It's not what I want to be doing, but... Hey, Alexander. I need friendship with you, and I need to keep building my ally points. Yes, you can have 1 gold per turn. It's fine. Yeah, you have to admire his enthusiasm. He's such a happy guy when things are going right. Could we open the borders, maybe? Nope. Too denounced. I am too denounced for that. Alright, well, you're a jerk and kind of a weird-looking dude. Honestly. I think your hat is bad. It's a bad hat. So there. Oh, if only I wasn't hated by everyone. Everyone in the world. No. I wish you guys would talk to each other a little bit. Alright, so we completed a harbor that is actually producing a good amount of gold.
As a young boy, my brother...
We now have this amphitheater. We're building stuff up. Things are going places. So, we probably just want to build an industrial zone. Our cities are all pretty desperate for production. And we obviously want to build it on the river for the adjacency bonus. Do I want to replace this wheat? 3 extra production is a fair amount. So the buildings you can build in the industrial zone do make you want to build it within 6 tiles of your other cities. Okay, well this is a space from which the factory bonuses would spread out to both of the other cities, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm going to replace the wheat. I think this is... As much as our city is enjoying this food, also I enjoy production. So this is going a lot slower than I was hoping. Alright, and we're going to bring Reyna over here right away. She can preside over our public works project over here, which we will call the Harlem Renaissance. Okay. It is taking forever for us to build stuff, which is not great. But these are the right things to build. We need trade routes really badly. So we could build a government plaza over here, which would make the city pretty safe against loyalty issues. What we really need is a trade route running from this city to a developed city, obviously. Where are we at on our trade route timing? Okay, well, for right now, what we need most is a builder, probably. I was gonna bring this ship up to hang out over here, and I don't really... I guess we could try to go over the north side of this continent. That'll be something. Mongolia is pillaging enemy theater squares, which I actually really appreciate. Obviously, it would be best for us if the other civilizations were not producing a lot of culture.
New grass.
Okay, this is taking a lot longer than I was hoping. I was hoping we were going to have, like, 3 new cities by the end of the episode, but I guess here we are. This city should grow pretty well. I guess Khan just put down another new city. I don't see it over here. Oh, what is this now? He captured Pella. He captured Alexander's capital. That's what it was. He didn't put down a new city. Well, I'm not in a position to help you with this, man. I apologize, but... cannot be a part of that. I'm not sure that we're actually going to be able to run this trade route to anything useful. It's quite a distance. See these barbarians practically salivating. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. I'm not 100% sure what my plan is. Let's heal this archer to fall, and then the archer can come up north and help us figure it out. And we can purchase an apostle. Let's finish our religion. How would it be the case that I am not the dominant... I am not producing the most pressure? There's no cities that are other religions nearby. Like, these guys aren't very close to us. Huh. Okay, well. We're going to buy our apostle. And we're going to evangelize a new belief complete our religion. And then we might, we are going to have to buy apostles, at least one apostle, to play defense, basically. But you know what? If Alexander got wiped out, that would at least end our religious concerns.
The day we stop exploring.
Alright, we definitely want to switch government types. Plus 15% great person points has been good to us. I'm not going to pretend that it hasn't been. And the housing and amenity, like Classical Republic, is a great government for internal victory types. But we need more cards, we definitely need more money, and production toward districts is relevant, to say the least. Alright, so what do we want to do with our red slot? We do loyalty per turn for cities with a garrisoned unit. It's not hugely relevant. I think we're okay on that. Thanks to our, honestly, discipline. We're at a moment in the game when discipline is totally relevant. And unfortunately, all of our cities are on the same continent. Let's move this up to here. So we have 2 slots that can be anything we want them to be. Great artist points. I imagine we're probably leading on great artist points, actually. Yeah, because we have like 1 functional theater square, which is enough to beat everybody else. Yes, we're already leading on great artist points, and we already are going to be squeezed for places to put the art. We're going to have to build an art museum quickly, so I don't want to slot the great artist point thing. What was I doing? I was doing discipline. We take campus adjacency bonuses. Our campuses actually have really good adjacencies. That's probably worth doing. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of options here that give us extra production. You know, newly trained builders gaining extra actions is good. Great engineer points also might be good. It's going to be a while before that builder's done. I'm going to do this. We're about to have an industrial zone in a city that has the Oracle and Pingala, so we are going to get competitive on the great engineers, and my guess is, yeah, nobody's producing a huge number of points. These are actually really nice. Great engineers can be very helpful. So we can run to a city that produce, like, this is really what I wanted, was extra production. So a road to Carthage. A road from Carthage to The Hague already exists, actually, so this would give us an easy way for our units to get over here whenever we want to purchase some, loyalty from Carthage. We should probably just run it to Mongolia. Having trade routes run to another player does have some benefits. In particular, if you have at least 1 trade route with another player, they get extra pressure from your tourism. Let's try to go over the top here. I wonder if we could distract these guys by running one of the units one way and one of them the other way. Let's cap our religion out. So, which of these buildings do we want? We are currently having some amenity issues. Although we are going to gain a couple new types of loyalty, or a couple new types of luxuries, probably. I like housing, I like amenities, I like food. I like these 3, I think, are our real choices. I don't think cathedrals are super important, like I said. We usually will have enough slots for our art. It may not be true right this moment, but also we can't really afford to build a cathedral right this moment, so. I do love growth. Food is growth. We are having amenity problems, though. Alright, so we have clarified the tenets of our religion and gotten another 3-era score. Well, we're certainly not going to Dark Age. And now that we have humanism, our path forward is a little bit less clear. There's a lot of good stuff available to us from here. Man, I wish that this affected the gold from... I wish that there was a card like this that affected harbors. I don't think there is. Well, We might want to head for opera and ballet. The Bolshoi Theater is pretty good. Obviously, we want to get to natural history for archaeologists as well. Plus, the water park is a cool district. Yeah, let's head toward opera and ballet for now. This has the adjacency bonus thing for theater squares, or the cultural thing for theater squares. Has a good wonder. Not too far off either. Alright, so from now on, our faith has to go toward buying religious buildings and maybe actually, maybe a missionary or two just to sort of spread and secure. Alright, you are good. We don't have the money to upgrade you. We're not that far off of it. Let's just go north and try to do a little bit of damage here. It does look like maybe... I don't know if these guys are like attracted to my horsemen, or if they want to be close to this caravel or what, but I'm going to have the horsemen stay put for a turn. Try to let the settler get away a little bit. We only need one turn of him being on land for him to safely establish the city. And if the archer meets him up here, I think we should be fine. Our ideological differences are only the beginning, so you can see we're getting a little bit more information than we usually do. That's because of our level of diplomatic visibility on these guys. Alright, we're going to have to stop and have a look at everybody's agendas in a second here. We're about to end the episode as well. This is inconvenient, but at least it's only a warrior. So this is probably the last turn we're going to play. Alright, Reina is now established. Okay, we're going to grow a little bit. This city actually has some pretty okay tiles. The city will grow to a reasonable population quickly. Right, a bunch of wonders that we don't particularly care about are getting taken. We're doing alright on tourism. It's coming along. So let's have a quick look at everybody's agenda. So all we can see on him is Bushido. He likes civilizations that liberate cities. We could certainly do some of that. We know that her second agenda is she dislikes civilizations that have different governments, really dislikes civilizations with different governments of the same tier as hers. If you could be her government and you aren't, that's especially bad. And she's a theocracy, so this is affecting us very badly. Alexander, we know, likes culture. And Genghis Khan is a technophile, which we didn't know, but we had an idea. So unfortunately, it's going to be kind of hard for us to get along with a lot of players in this game. Alexander is our best bet. We might be able to get Hojo turned around on us, maybe. But this may not be a game where we have a tremendous number of alliances. Anyway, that's going to have to be it for us for today. Thank you so much for watching. Come back next time. We've really got to drag our civilization out of the Dark Ages production-wise, but once we do, honestly, I think we're in a pretty good position to make a big tourism push in the near future. And we'll see you then.